already, but hello. Uh, Day 14. I haven't left this one so late. It is quite late still, but alas, let's get it started in here. Hope you had a good day. We had a great day at church and some nice time fellowshipping afterwards. Um, but alas, let's jump back into it. So definitely not on step three. Yesterday we did a bit of building functions. I talked about sort of having the functionality, having each function in, having each sort of action that you know you're going to take in its function. And I talked about sort of maybe missing out on the planning and how they came up with this, and hoping that maybe we pick that up later on. Um, we called the update function. We added a location for fighting in our locations array, and we just added that to our update function so that we know if there's a when we're fighting, we're in. We defined the button names and their functionality and the text as well. So cool. Let's jump into the next step. Hold it, just go back on that. Now below your update call, set the monster health to be the health of the current monster. Now we do have a monsters array as well, and we know that we've used fighting as the index of that array. If I just go back here, and we have, where do we define fighting? Again, something that a text editor would let me see. So as part of my fight slime, let's index 0, 1, and 2. And what that also does is it pertains to my monsters array, so I can get some detail from there, and that's why monsters index fighting dot health will give me the health of the monsters. So cool. So below your update call, set the monster health. So when we are in a fighting location, we want the I'm just trying to think, where do I so where am I pulling in the fighting here? Oh wait, so when I update location, I'm trying to figure out where I'm pulling in the fighting value from when I go to update. So my go fight function. I feel like I need to pull in the fighting from somewhere, because update locations just say okay, so I've got fighting in here. I feel like I got to fight the dragon. I set my fighting and I go fight, but then I go fight, so I feel like I need to have fighting in here as something I pass into the function, but that's probably going to come later. So let's say So this is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for within the monsters index fighting dot health of that monster, and I'm going to set this as the monster health value. Okay, so the HTML element that shows the monster's stats has been hidden with CSS. Display the monster stats element by updating the display property of the style property to block. For example, using the first property of the name property of user would look like this. Okay, so let's go and see. We know that we've got monster stats somewhere, but that it's also hidden. Okay, and I can't actually see this for some reason. Okay, so right, okay. So I've got the div for monster stats is ID, and I feel I've got a monster stats display none. Okay, so I don't think I fully understand this. Because with the example they've given, they're saying display. Actually, I don't think I need you. I need you. Display the monster stats element by updating the display property of the style property to block. So I need to change this. But I feel like I can't just call it. I feel like I can't just call it hashtag monster stats. So I'm gonna go in here and say JavaScript change CSS display block. Cool. So, we would have a handler, wouldn't we? We should have a handler for monster stats. Maybe, maybe not, but let's see. So, again, Stack Overflow. Now in this instance, I just picked the first one because it sounded like what I was looking for. there is a HTML DOM style display property. So I might have to come to this with W3 Schools. I might just open that in the background, and I might just open that in the background as well. Well, let's go to this example because this looks like it might be what we're looking for. Now we're trying to change the CSS property of a div tag. We need to change its value. Okay, cool. Now this is the HTML. So if there's a div ID hidden, style.display. Okay. So we've used document get element by ID. Oh, but this will not be working. Okay, cool. Okay, so it's more a cool. So it was more an issue of syntax here than anything. And then his choice of using a div as opposed to a table or a TD, whatever that is. But that's cool. So yes, I guess the missing link in my head was the document. So the document.getElement by ID is similar to what we're doing here with document.querySelector, and we have a document.querySelector hashtag monster stats. So we're already handling that in monster stats constant. So we can then simply say, well, monster stats dot display dot style equals block, because we're already handling and actually I could probably check this. So block is supposed to be in inverted in commas and in quotation marks, which is cool. Finish it off there. So yeah, my lost connection was the idea that hashtag monster stats could not be called directly, which is true, but we can then call it with our document dot with our document documents, what do we call it, method, not a method, but our document object model. Yes, that's how we interact with JavaScript, isn't it? I've got notes on this somewhere. I should revise. But we already are handling that. So we already have a handler for monster stats. And we're already grabbing a handler by using document query selector hashtag monster stats. So here we're getting it. And this is effectively the same thing. So we could use query selector to select it. In the example that I found on Stack Overflow, they're using get element by ID. I believe these things do the exact same thing. But yeah, this should then pass. Does not. Issue dot notation to access the style property of monster stats. I thought that's what we are doing. Oh, display property of the style property, sorry. So I've gone the opposite way around and said style. Not display. Yeah, go. Now set the inner text property of monster name to be the name of help text. Okay. Now we can get all of that from our array So I know in fact I would effectively been doing this. Wait, where's monster name? Monster name is that. Okay, so we already got something called. Cool. Yeah, so it's the same thing. It's the same thing. So and then it twice because I'll be doing it for health text as well. And this one I'm setting the inner text. So this is monster name. That's monster health text, and that's health. And that's it. I really need to start doing these in the morning. I'm just going to my monsters to see what I've got. So name, level, and health. So we're changing the inner text property of monster name to be the name property of the current monster. Monster health text. And the health property. I don't understand why we're doing it for health property as well. Oh, sorry, I did the same for the monster health text. Okay. The health property. That's what I'm trying to do. What's monster health? Yeah, I really need to start doing this earlier because your boy is struggling to make sense in his head. And the problem is, as we go, it's like these leave little holes in my understanding. So even though I break through, it's not as strong because I'm super tired. This we will correct. Cool. Now I can build the attack function. First, update the text message to say the monster name attacks. Replace the monster name with the name of the monster. Cool. So when the dude attacks, then I'm saying text dot inner text is equal to So all I'm doing here is using concatenation to say that the whichever monster I'm fighting attacks, and that's going to be part of the attack function. Next will probably be some sort of calculation to do with the health, but I am wiped, so I'm gonna call it a night, get some rest, come back early, God willing, in the morning and make some more progress. I'll start on 120. So I'm going to submit this and then I'll start on 120, which is a nice clean number. And it's more just text stuff. I want to just finish this. Let's go. Alright. So text dot inner text. And even though it doesn't say to, I'm going to see if I can do this. It does say new line though. So because it says new line, I want to see new line in string JavaScript. Because it says new line, I want to see how to add this new line. Another article that I find. Another thing as well is here, you find some of these articles and they might then be stuff that you'd want to, they might give you insight into a new, newsletter or something that you can then grab. So it's also worth being mindful of that. Cool, so I can just add it in like that. Okay. So let's see if that's what they want. And I can just add it within the string, it seems. So I can just say, I'm trying to find my work/n. Doesn't seem right. But it's just in the middle of the string. I'm going to check something else. Go, okay. So I can see they've stuck it in here and it is just part of the string. And it does stick into new lines. So cool. So I'm going to say new line. It just doesn't feel right to me. Why doesn't it feel right to me? Alright, let's see. So weapon. Current weapon. So I'm going to say this. Okay, so if I just did that with that part. Okay. Well, that's interesting. It didn't like the new line. What if I added a new line here? see if it edited that out. Yeah, it has. Let's see, cool. All right, I'm gonna call it there. I'm gonna go get some rest, and I'll catch